Mrs. Williams was known for her bossy attitude. She always made sure everyone in the house, including her husband, Mr. William, knew who was in charge. She believed in keeping things her way, and she especially did not like anyone challenging her decisions. Her most recent irritation was directed at Chinedu, the son of their maid Nkechi. Chinedu was a bright boy, always top of his class. Mr. Williams, noticing Chinedu's brilliance, decided to enroll him in the same prestigious school as their son, Moses. Mr. Williams felt that giving Chinedu the opportunity to study in a good school would help him reach his full potential. But Mrs. Williams did not like this idea at all. How can Chinedu attend the same school as Moses? She fumed. What if people think he is our son? And what if he starts out performing in Moses' class? No, I won't have it. Mr. William tried to calm her down. He is just a boy, dear, and it is not fair to hold him back because he is bright. Moses will do well too. They will motivate each other. But Mrs. William wouldn't listen. She was determined to make sure her son, Moses, remained the star, no matter what it took. Behind Mr. Williams' back, she went to the school and secretly bribed the teachers, asking them to always give Moses better grades and praise him in class. She believed that if Moses was always ahead of Chinedu, would be discouraged and would eventually drop out or perform poorly. At first, everything seemed to go according to her plan. Moses' grades were excellent, and the teachers always spoke highly of him. Mrs. Williams was pleased with herself, thinking she had secured her son's future, but she did not realize the harm she was causing. Over time, Moses started to lose interest in his studies. He knew he was not as good as his grades show, and it made him lazy. He did not feel the need to work hard because he believed everything would be handed to him. Meanwhile, Chinedu noticed something was off. He knew he was performing well, but his grades did not reflect his efforts. Instead of giving up, he started working even harder, determined to prove himself despite the unfair treatment. One day, during a parent teacher meeting, Mr. William noticed something strange. The teachers kept praising Moses, but when he looked at Moses' test papers, he saw that they were full of mistakes. It did not make sense to him. He decided to investigate further and spoke privately with Chinedu class teacher. That is when the truth came out. The teacher hesitated at first, but eventually admitted that Mrs. Williams had been bribing them to favor Moses. But Mr. Williams was furious. He couldn't believe that his wife had stooped so low. He went home and confronted her. What have you done, Mrs. Williams? You are running Moses' future by not letting him learn from his mistake, and you are destroying Chinedu's confidence by not giving him the grade he deserves. This is not the way to help our son. Mrs. Williams was shocked by her husband's anger. She had never seen him so upset. She tried to defend herself. I was only trying to protect Moses. I wanted him to be the best. But at what cost? Mr. Williams replied. You have taught Moses that he does not need to work hard, that he can just coast through life. And what about Chinedu? He is the one working hard, but you have taken that away from him. This is not fair to either of them. Mrs. Williams felt ashamed. She hadn't thought about the long term consequences of her actions. She realized that she had let her pride and jealousy get in the way of doing what was right. She apologized to Mr. William and promised to make things right. The next day, Mrs. Williams returned to the school and told the teachers to stop favoring Moses. She asked them to grade both boys fairly from now on. She also sat down with Moses and explained that he needed to start putting in the effort if he wanted to succeed. It was a tough lesson for both of them, but Mrs. Williams knew it was the right thing to do. As time went on, Moses began to work harder and his grades slowly improved. Chinedu too continued to excel, and both boys became good friends. Mrs. Williams learned that true success comes from hard work and fairness, not from shortcuts and favoritism. She also understood that helping others, like Chinedu, succeed did not mean taking anything away from her own son. Instead, it made everyone better. So, in the end, Mrs. Williams' actions had nearly cost her son his future, but with Mr. Williams' help, she was able to turn things around. She learned a valuable lesson about the dangers of pride and the importance of doing the right thing, even when it is difficult. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and follow this channel for more stories. See you in our next post. Thanks.